morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. Another Wednesday video, and today we're going to do a card that I've seen demonstrated a lot. It's called a fan card. I just hadn't jumped on the bandwagon yet, so today we're going to give it a go, and I'll share Stampin' Up! News with you. Okay, let's go down to my desk. All right, let's get started here. Okay, last week I jumped on with a really easy card. If you caught that video, it was cased right from the catalog, and it was a really good one. I've had lots of interesting comments about it because it's such a simple one. All right, let's talk about Stampin' Up! News first. You have one more day to subscribe to the latest Paper Pumpkin kit. You have to subscribe by tomorrow, July the 10th. And this one is called Sweeter With You. And it makes 9 cards, 3 of... Oh, sorry, I'm telling you the wrong thing. I think this one makes 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. And obviously has strawberries and some gingham on it. I think the Stampin' Spot ink spot is garden green. So it looks like a really summery one. There's the add-on dies that go with the next 3 months. So that number is 167277. They are $16.50, and you get all these dies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dies this time. So that makes a strawberry. There's a circle, the word hello. So it looks like a good one. All right, so that's the Paper Pumpkin. So the next week when I come on, I will have a new Paper Pumpkin to share with you. Also, there are still clearance items in the last chance list, so go and check those out if you haven't had a chance to do that. Still some good things on there. And I'm trying to think, there's lots of new things released online that you might want to check out. New product. All right, this is my card kit that I've shown you before, the card kit to go. So you would receive everything to make all 4 of these cards with envelopes. The only thing I can't do for you is stamping. The card kit is $15. If I'm shipping it anywhere in Canada, I would have to add $5 to that, so it would be $20. You can contact me through my email or through my website, and those are both the addresses there. So those are all fun folds and using 12 by 12 designer series paper. So showing a good way to use paper like that. Okay, our fan card. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but I hadn't given it a try. So today we're going to give it a try. I am bringing my paper trimmer in because we're going to need it. And I will share with you all my bits and pieces here. So our card base today is one of our new in colors, Cloud Cover. It is our standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we'll do some cutting on that. You also need a piece of your cardstock that is... I've got it all written down here because there's some extra pieces here. 1.5 by 5.5. So you need that. We need a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. And you'll need a scrap of white to do your greeting on the front. Our DSP pieces, we need 2 different patterns. So one, this is my main pattern that I chose. And today I'm using Florals in Bloom, 12 by 12 designer series paper. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. You also need another piece of this that is 1 1/4 by 5. And then a different pattern that is 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, all the measurements will be underneath this video when it gets posted, so you can check it out there. Don't think you have to rush to write them all down. Now we've got to do a bunch of cutting. I will start with the card base. That out of the way. Okay, our card base. What we need to do is measure in 2.5 inches from the top right corner. 2.5, and I put a little, I don't know if you can see it, I put a little pencil mark there. Okay, so we are going to cut from that pencil mark down to the bottom right corner. So you're going to line it up in your trimmer into the track here so that my mark is right in that track there, and that corner is in the track at the bottom. And when we have a corner like that, we want to always cut from the top because you can crunch that corner when you come up with your blade. Okay, I'm checking again. I can see my pencil mark there. I can see my corner there. Okay, so we're cutting like that. We're saving this triangle. We're going to use that, so I'll set it to the side. We're going to use this, of course. That's our card base. We'll also do the cutting of this piece. This piece is going to be cut right in half, corner to corner. Now, I am going to get some washi tape, or I can use a Post-it to hold it. I have trouble with these small pieces, holding them and making sure they don't move in my paper trimmer when I close the guide there. So I'm just going to do this, and this will kind of hold it. I'm just checking to make sure. Now, because both of these are corners, I'm going to start my cutter in the middle. So I put it like that. I go up to the top, and then I go down to the bottom. And then you don't crunch any corners. Okay, now we only need one of these. So we'll save one, and the other one can be used on another card if you were to make this card again. Okay, now we're going to cut our designer series paper. This is our main piece. We are going to measure again 2.5 inches in, which I've already done, and I put a little pencil mark. Whoops, I don't know if you can see it, but a pencil mark there. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the card base. The pencil mark in the track and the corner at the bottom there in the track at the bottom. And cut. Okay. This piece we are not using. So again, I'm going to put it to the side. I'm not using that piece. This, as you can tell, is going to fit onto here. Okay, like that. All right, then our smaller piece of the same pattern of DSP, we're going to do the same thing as we did with that other triangle or that other rectangle. We just cut it right in half. So again, this one's even skinnier, so it's hard for me to hold it. So again, I will utilize my Post-it note to hold it in place like that, so that I can close this without causing a problem. And again, I'm going to start in the middle like that. And for this one, we're only using one piece. So this is a directional piece of designer series paper, so I'm going to use this piece, and it is going to fit onto that smaller triangle that we cut out. Okay, so that's that. I'm putting this to the side. Okay, this bigger piece and the different designer series paper, we're going to cut it in half again from top to bottom. So it's a bit wider, but again, I'm putting one corner in the top track, one corner in the bottom track. This is a bit wider, so I think I can hold this piece. Like that. And we're only using one of these. And of course, this one is a stripe, so you have to find the piece that fits on your piece that we just cut, which was this one here. Okay, so it's going to fit on there like that. It would fit either way, it doesn't matter. Either piece, doesn't matter. Okay, but we're only using one of those. All right, so we've got all our cutting done, I think. And we'll do some assembling now. So I'm going to put this to the side. And we'll get to putting this together. Bring in my silicone mat so I don't get glue everywhere, hopefully. And we can start assembling. So you're going to glue all these things together. So now it's easy. I do have a little white eraser here. I can see my pencil marks that I made. Sorry for the noise. I can see the pencil marks that I made here. So I'm just going to go both corners here and get rid of those pencil marks. Then don't want those to show. So I'm going to start by putting this piece onto here. I'm also using the Impressions of Bloom dies, but I am using Blooming Phrases stamp set for my greeting on this one. I really like this little set. It has all the greetings and it has some very unique features. So I will share some of those with you in a minute if you haven't seen that one yet. Now, so you can see this a bit easier, I'll open this up. So you're just placing this, of course, so that it's sort of even, somewhat even, hopefully all the way around, giving you a bit of a border. There we go. This is such pretty paper and so many colors in this. This is the new cloud cover, Secret Sea, Petunia Pop. I think this is close to Fresh Freesia. It's not Bubble Bath, but close. Shy Shamrock, and there's a little bit of Summer Splash in here too. And they have Granny Apple Green. So a lot of colors in this paper. So there's that piece. Set that to the side. Then we'll put these ones together. So again, we're just gluing this designer series paper onto our triangles now. And again, this is one that you have to be very aware of a direction of your pattern, you know, your paper direction, because some of them wouldn't work. Okay, that goes there. Then this little one. And we do want to make sure we get glue right to that very tip there. Okay, I think we're good here. Get this onto here. There we go. Got a little bit of glue on there. All right. So now we can do the inside if we wanted. If you're doing any stamping, I will just caution you because you can see that you're going to see quite a bit of the white. So if you're doing any stamping, you'll want it inside here on the left-hand side. And the same with your writing, you know, whatever you're writing in here. This will get covered up a bit because if you've seen these fanfold cards, this is how it looks. I'll just dry fit this so you can see it. You're just putting this across and down to that corner. And this one the same. This one will be raised up on dimensionals. You can raise both of these triangles up on dimensionals if you want, but I just like the top one raised. So that's what it looks like, called a fan card. And then you can decorate it any way you like. I think maybe we'll put that together before we put our inside in, so that helps us know what we're doing with our inside. Now, the best way to do this, I think, is you can just dry fit this here, turn it over, and I just took my pencil, I think, got some lead there, and I just drew a line across here. And again, you can erase this when we're done, but I just put a line across there, and I don't want any glue above that. So I'm going to put my glue below that line. Then I know I'm in the right spot. Okay. There we go. And again, you're going to put your corner down here and put this just so the corners are touching the edges of your card there. And that goes down to the end. And let's see how we did. Pretty good. Don't even see my line there, so that's even better. Nothing to erase. Now this one, I said I was going to put it up onto dimensionals, and I think that's exactly what I want to do. Now I have seen this done different ways. I've seen it done where they put the triangle up and the corners are touching here so that it looks like that. Or you can put them even at the top like this. So that's entirely up to you. I'm just going to have a look at this is what it's going to look like with the white paper inside here, like that. Or do I want to raise it up? Maybe this card I will raise it up because you can see these don't meet at the bottom, but I'm going to have something there. That's where my greeting is going to be. So I think maybe I'll change this one up and I'll show you a different one. Oh, I did the other one exactly the same way. So I guess I'm not showing you anything different, but it can be that way or this way. I think I like it raised up. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on these. I brought in big ones, but I may need a little one at the very bottom there. So we'll see how that works out. We'll put enough so that this doesn't sag. And I think I might even have some little like strips. I think maybe they would go in there perfectly. Again, you can use the edges of your dimensionals and cut a little strip for yourself and put it on. That would work good. All right. It's been a while since I made this sample card, so I'd forgotten how I kind of put it together, so I need the reminder here. All right. Our backing's off, our dimensionals. Just like that. And remember, that's not glued in there. Just makes it, maybe I'll leave it in there. It makes it easier for you to see where I'm placing this. Oh, and I did the wrong thing. I put the dimensionals right at the very top. They can't be there. They cannot be there. Oh, I'm going to be mad at myself. Guess what I'm going to do then? I'm going to put it down like this because I did the wrong thing. And I put the dimensionals so that they would be hanging over the top here, and that's not going to work for me. So we'll do it that way. Can always change it, no mistakes. So I didn't want to see my dimensionals on the edge there, so that was my mistake, putting them to the top. So this one will be different than my sample card. All right, so it goes in like that, and I'm going to put my inside in there. I'm not going to do it just yet because I'm going to do some stamping on it. I have stamped a greeting already. This is a 3/4 inch piece of white. And from the Blooming Phrases, I stamped the word celebrate. And then you can see there's these extra little stamps. What you do is then you turn it and you use this sort of as your stem. And I stamped the little flowers on it. So I thought that looked pretty. Now, putting it on there looks great. It fits right across there, no problem. But I thought I needed something underneath it. And I will admit, I do not have the stamps and dies that go with this set, so I don't have any dies that I could use that are matching this paper. So what I did is I went to the Impressions A Bloom, and I cut out this flower and this flower, one out of Petunia Pop and one out of, no, this is, let me think now. What did I cut them out of? Petunia Pop and Fresh Freesia. So I cut 2 little flowers, and I thought this flower would be big enough if I put it here to cover that up. And then I could put this on top of the flower like that. And I thought I could just put this on top of that. And I thought it just brought out the colors. So I think that looks okay. I was happy enough with that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back here, or you can even put it right here on this triangle. And it is sticking up, as you can see, because that piece is on dimensionals. So I'm definitely going to have to put this on dimensionals at the end here. And I think I will just, I have to be careful again because this, I don't want the dimensionals sticking off of there. So I think if I do this, I need it right about there. So don't put it right to the end of your greeting. There. And I will put a couple more just to make sure. Let's see that it's okay there, I think. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and just the dimensionals on the end. So take my backs off like that. Put a little glue on here to stick it to my flower. And I used, I didn't say, I don't think I used Secret C, which is one of our new colors, for stamping the words. And I used Petunia Pop for the flower on the end. So I'm just going to try to make this as straight as I can. Just thinking I will put it, I just got to make sure that I'm not overhanging on this side. So slide it over a little more and stick it down like that. That looks good. And then I thought I would just put this flower on top of that. So I'll just put a little glue on the center of that flower. Just tuck it. Just tuck it there like that. So just going to stick to the one underneath. So there we go. What do you think of that? I think that turned out good. Now my thought for the inside was, I'm not going to put any words on the inside. Celebrate, I thought, could be happy birthday, it could be anniversary, could be anything. Graduation. So I thought on my white piece, I'm not going to stamp any words, but I thought I might put some of these flowers up the side here. Again, you want to be careful where you're putting anything because you're going to see it. All right, so I thought what I might do, get rid of this, is put that, and I brought what you do if I don't want any words, but I do want the stem. So there's the word celebrate that I stamped on the front. I'm going to use that same stem, and I thought I'd just put it here, and then there's the flowers, and just put the flowers on top there. So let's see how that turns out. I'm using Secret C for the stem, and I'm using Petunia Pop for the flowers. You could have used, you can see that there's Secret Sea and Cloud Cover flowers here also. There's also Shy Shamrock, and maybe it's Summer Splash. Not sure for that. So I'm just going to ink up, do it this way. I'm just going to ink up the stem. I don't want the word, remember, I just want the stem. And this is very narrow and fine, so you don't have to press very hard to get a good. And I'm just going to put it, I have to make sure I've got room for the flowers to go. So just like that. I might have even pressed too hard. Look at how thick that end is, and it shouldn't have been that thick. It's okay, I think I can go with it. I'm going to use Petunia Pop on the flowers. And because you can see right through these, you can see the stem going up the middle. So, and that flower at the very top is at the top of the stem. So I think I can get it here like that. Perfect. And it mimics that that's on the front. Now you could do that more than once, or you could do it all the way up the side if you wanted. It's up to you. I could have gone across a bit because there's more room. I think I'll leave it just with one. And I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to get rid of this ink so I don't put anything in my ink pads, like my hand or the card itself. I don't want to do that after I've made it. All right, so I also brought in some online exclusive pearls, and I thought they might go. Basic Gray and Smoky Slate pearls. So we'll just see what I think about that on the front. Okay. And centering your white piece in here. Just like that. And like I said, you could decorate this more, or you can put some more words in here. Again, you just have to be aware of where you're going to write. Okay, so there's that. I think that turned out really nice. I did bring in the Petunia Pop ribbon that is in the clearance rack, but I don't know that I needed any ribbon on this card, so I think I'll just let that go. I'm not going to worry about the ribbon, and I will bring in these pearls. Now there's two colors, so Basic Gray is the darker one, of course, and then Smoky Slate is the lighter. So I think I like the lighter color, so let's do that one. It's on the bottom here. These would be Smoky Slate. They come in two sizes, so I will use one big and a couple of small. I was wondering if I should have put one right in the center of that flower. That's a big one right there. Maybe that's all I need. Maybe I just need that, just that one pearl. What do you think? I could use a couple more of the small ones. I just want to make sure I get the lighter color. It's funny, it's hard to tell which ones are Basic Gray and which ones are Smoky Slate. I will take these. Okay. Just don't know if I want to put another couple in here or not. I think, you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it with the one. Again, that's your discretion. If you want to change it up, you can. There we go. Or add more. You can always add more. All right. So that's our card. That's called a fan card. And I saw Delight of My Art demonstrate that. Her name is Deb Smeek. I hope I'm saying that right. And she had done a really good job of it and had a whole bunch of samples to show. So I think it's really a different card. Stands up really nicely. It has a lot of substance. It is fairly thick for mailing. Again, you don't have to put the dimensionals under this piece if you didn't want to, and then it wouldn't raise it up quite so much. All right, so that's that. And this is the sample card I made. This is stippled roses, this paper, and these were the dies, and these dies were in the clearance rack for quite a long time. They are gone now, but I had made this to share, and I put the dies in the inside also. I hope you can see that. Yeah, I used Wink of Stella on the flowers to make them shine a little bit. I see that guy's coming off, and he needs a little glue on there. And I used some retired gems, but I think that turned out really pretty. Different because of the paper, of course. It is sort of a girly looking card. Now you can see the difference between the fan pieces. That one I had up at the top, and this one I brought down. So it can be done many different ways. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed that. I really appreciate your thumbs up. That helps my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, please contact me. Remember, I have that card kit still running for the month of July. I have a in-person card class this weekend. So a few people are coming, so that's great. And if you lived in my area, you could contact me and join us because there is still room in my class. All right, I hope everybody has a great week.